The beach is closed down to August 31st. Well, why not August 15th? Why not September 10th? I mean, these arbitrary dates that politicians come up with as though this virus obeys political decrees.
Well, you do remember in the very beginning they said this would only be 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
And here we are almost 7 months later.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Cobourg, Ontario. Well, folks, once again, the beaches of Cobourg are locked down solid, as you can see, as far as the eye goes, along the eastern beach of Cobourg. It is fenced off to the populace and to tourists. Basically, the only people getting a suntan here today are the hundreds and hundreds of seagulls. Town Council has decided in its wisdom to fight the Wuhan virus by closing the beach until August 31st. And I think in Canada, that means the entire summer. It's not California. You can't come here to the beach in November. So all the activities, all the water sports, Cobourg's famous sandcastle competition, that's all wiped out. Well, you know what? As the saying goes from Twisted Sister, they're not going to take it anymore. A bunch of people in Cobourg are assembling at Victoria Hall. They're going to be coming down here, and they have found a tricky little way to get around the bylaw that prevents them from getting on the beach. They're going to walk about 300 meters along the pier here, and evidently, if you can imagine, accessing the beach that way means you will not get one of those $880 Wuhan virus tickets. Well, at least that's what they think the case is in theory. Let's see how it plays out in reality.
Oh, hey ho! Hey ho! Justin Trudeau, let's go!
Fire Dr. Tam!
Fire Dr. Tam!
Well, folks, I'm with Josh Clausom. You may remember Josh from some of the Queen's Park protests when he had the big sign, "I need a haircut." What are we going to see here today? You're going to march with these people and, I guess, breach the fence like we're breaching the beaches of Normandy?
We're working within a loophole within the bylaw. We are not going to go through the fence because that would get us all in a lot of trouble. But we are going to proceed down King Street, down through Victoria Hall, walk down to the pier, enter in off the rock side like I did a couple of weeks ago in front of police and bylaw, where we are working within a safety zone of the bylaw to still get relief, enjoy the shallow water of Cobourg, and so long as our feet don't touch the shore, then we're all right. We had 2 individuals, 2 local ladies, arrested here last week for taking a stroll on the beach, and then when questioned by the police officers, they failed to identify themselves, so they got arrested for obstruction of justice. So the whole thing in its own mind, they shouldn't have even been questioned by the police. So that's why we're here. We're here in protest of our freedoms and our rights. We're here in protest of mandatory masks.
And Josh, here's what I don't understand. It's basically the double standard when it comes to this beach closure. Right now, where we actually stand, we have an outdoor market. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people all day long. So basically, the town is saying you can congregate by the hundreds on concrete and asphalt, but you can't do so on a sandy beach.
Yes, and that's exactly it. It's ridiculous. They're trying to promote people to come downtown Cobourg and come visit our town, but then they have the beach shut down.
Well, folks, here you can see a beautiful Cobourg beach, pretty much evoking a vibe of, 1950s Berlin. There is a fence for as long as the eye can see along the beachfront here. And evidently, we have to confirm this, but the town's property line are the lifeguard stations. Beyond that, it's essentially a no man's land. It is no longer town property. And these marchers have said they found a loophole that gets them to get onto the beach legally. Wow, isn't that going to open a can of worms if that is true? Lots of law enforcement here. They've even got a little mobile command post. Just a few meters away, literally from the end of the beach line, is a trailer park. And it is jam-packed with trailers, mostly from Ontario and Quebec. But again, it speaks to the double standard. If we can't have outdoor congregation on the beach, why is it being permitted in the trailer park? And don't get me wrong, I fully support these vacationers wanting to come here and enjoy the great outdoors. It's just too bad that the citizens of Cobourg and the tourists to this gorgeous beach are prevented from doing so as well. So Joshua, before you dip in, this is allegedly a legal way to access the water and then the beach.
Loophole of the bylaw, yes. Okay, so the rules state that you cannot jump or dive off the pier, and for obvious reasons, the water's only about 2 to 3 feet deep for the most part. And I didn't go through the barricade, and so long as my feet don't touch the shore, then there's no problem. And I can get right up to like ankle depth, and my feet don't touch dry sand. I'm not breaking any laws.
Well, have a nice swim.
Thank you.
Splash down.
Hey, how does freedom feel like?
Oh, I love it. I love it. The water's beautiful.
Now you can see law enforcement. They've been taping this with their cell phone cameras. And I'm just going to go up and ask, is this indeed a legal loophole around the beach closure? Hi, officer. How you doing? David Menzies with Rebel News. Very good. I'm just wondering, I was told by those gentlemen, the water officer, that this is a legal loophole around the beach closure, that if they enter here and don't touch the shore, they can't be fined. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
A nice swim?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very refreshing. Something well needed. So.
You know, and I just confirmed with Bylaw, as a matter of fact, that this is indeed true. You are not breaking any rules by accessing the beach. Do you think once this gets publicity, ma'am, that other people are going to do what you did today?
I think they should. I really do. I feel like you have to. We have to start standing up to this because this is craziness. We need to enjoy it.
Do you think that there's a certain critical mass of Canadians that are, I guess, so obedient to what they're being told by government, by law enforcement, that even though there is a legal loophole around getting onto the beach, that they still won't go?
Well, to be honest with you, I just think that they just need to take a time and look into it a little bit further. I mean, there is all kinds of loopholes. There really is. And we just pointed it out. Yeah. So, I mean, all you can do now is take advantage. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Okay. So.
Now, folks, this is fascinating, and it, again, speaks to the double standard, maybe even the triple standard, if closing the beaches are all about health-related concerns. I just had a local resident say that this unfenced area where you see people on the beach and people in the water, this is part of Cobourg Beach as well. But he said, I will bet you anything, every single person on that beach is from out of town. And why is that? Well, the locals are smart enough to know that you don't come here because in other months there are thousands and thousands of Canada geese that congregate here. They do their business. The water does not circulate, so the odds of this water being infected with E. coli are very high. And again, it speaks to the perversity of the health concerns that's driving the closure of the East Beach. Namely, that water circulates, that water is clean, but that's fenced off. Nobody can go there. The beach has been commandeered by the seagulls. But this beach, which is not fenced off, well, basically, it's an open toilet bowl, and it looks like the health authorities have no issues whatsoever with people going into that water. Isn't that bizarre?
Not only makes a mockery, but it creates a dangerous situation. The beach is to be entered safely. If people start coming up here and jumping off, there's risk of injuries.
Right, and there's a lot of rocks here. It's slippery even if you're proceeding by foot.
Exactly. It's irresponsible for the town to put a bylaw in with a loophole, for one. I mean, the law itself is irresponsible, however.
But the irony is perverse, isn't it? This is all being done allegedly in the name of safety, and yet this is truly an unsafe situation being created by making people go to the beach this way.
Much like most of this situation, the situations being created by the orders are creating more dangerous situations that are immediately dangerous to people.
Hi, Councillor Beaty. How you doing?
I'm not commenting.
Oh, no? Don't you think this is a great day that people are reclaiming the beach?
Cheers.
Why are why is the eastern beach closed off, Councillor, and not the western one?
If you want to have an official comment, you can contact the Mayor's office or Communications Manager Ashley Purdy, and we'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
But you're a councillor, right?
I was just out as a citizen today, enjoying my time with my partner, and I have no comment at this time.
But you did vote for the beach to be closed, correct?
Everything is on the record. The majority of council with recorded votes recorded for the pier to be closed.
Okay.
And
I think that's a yes. So, and it's still August 31st. That's the entire summer, isn't it, Councillor?
I'm declining comment.
Okay. Well, why would you decline comment? I mean, we have a democracy here. You've enacted your rights as council to take away the beach from the citizens here. Why won't you talk about that?
Cheers, guys. Have a nice day.
I stood.
Oh, sorry, Councillor. I couldn't hear you. I mean, I'm just asking you some simple questions about. And Councillor, isn't it more dangerous for the people to swim on the western beach because of the E. coli contamination? Well, that's Councillor Beaty. That's, I guess, democracy in action in Cobourg. I was only trying to find out the rationale for, well, basically ruining the summer of so many people here in Cobourg that just want to go swimming. But she couldn't even answer whether or not she voted to close the beach. And, oh, by the way, folks, the answer is, yeah, she voted to close the beach. Okay, well, we have Andrea and her delightful son, Isaiah. And Andrea, first, to you, what do you make of the town council here closing off this beautiful beach on a beautiful summer day and all summer long, because the closure is in effect till August 31st. I guess that's it for Canada in terms of summer, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's ridiculous, really, because, you can see pubs open, people sitting there having drinks, but you can't let your children go swimming,
And I was mad of that.
And what was that, Isaiah?
I was really mad. They were only when the pubs open, and I was really mad I couldn't go swimming in this beach.
I find it funny, though, if you have lots of money, you can rent a room down there at the hotel and take a swim in the same lake that they're locking off from the public.
I did not know that. Isn't that interesting?
I noticed the same day they were putting it up, people swimming over there. I thought, are you serious? Wow. Yeah.
Well, what about that, Isaiah? Do you have enough money for a hotel room stay? Then you can go swim in the lake here, eh? No?
No.
Folks, if you had one of those ridiculous Wuhan virus $880 Bylaw tickets, well, don't pay it. Don't get your own legal counsel. Reach out to us at fightthefines.com. That's fightthefines.com. And if we think your case has merit, we will get you in touch with one of our top-notch criminal lawyers, and we will fight that fine for you.